أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة لأهل التقوى واليقين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين خاتم النبيين بالقاسم محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وآله الطيبين الطاهرين المأسومين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين روحي وأرواح العالمين لتراب مقدم. Am I okay to sit down or do you want me to stand up? Okay. Or I'll keep moving and inshallah gathering your attention. So the topic I've been given, as you can see, is strengthening the center's leadership. So we have Islamic centers, and my presentation will be. So it's been made by my daughter, so she's written Maulana there. Now, can you go to the next slide, please? Now we will cover the following areas. I didn't bring my glasses, so I will just try and read off. What is a center? So there are a few words. Need a second. मैंने बड़ा कर लिया उसको. So first of all, what is the center? Number two, what is leadership and who is leadership for? Number three, the essence of leadership and servitude. Number four, qualities of leadership. Now, very quickly, I'm going to touch upon all of these as the time has delayed a little, so the time is short. Number one, what is the center? When we say centers, we are intending the masajid, the mosques, and Islamic centers, Imam Bargas. And the center consists of people. Who are these people? These people are mu'mineen, they are believers. So you're serving mu'mineen. You're not serving a council, a borough, a football club, a sports club, a book club. You are actually serving an Imam Bargah, which is a place of worship. So eventually, to serve the Imam Bargah, you need, number one, the niyat of qurbatan ilallah. So it should be surely and purely for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you're serving. Unfortunately, people may come in with the right intention, but slowly the right intention and the good intention deteriorates. It leaves you. So you have to make sure that your niyat is good. There is an ayat in the Holy Quran in Surah Hud, Surah number 11. Fastaqim kama umir. So I haven't written everything there. So I'm just, these are just slides. Yes. Next slide. Can you just ask these people to be a bit, because I don't have a mic. Now, the most important part is that we are serving an Imam Bargah. So Imam Bargah needs good action, good niyat. The Holy Quran in Surah Hud says, Fastaqim to the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah says, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. That you have to maintain the level that you started on. Fastaqim, istiqamat. Istiqamat is to be steadfast, maintain. And in this ayat, when Hazrat Abdullah ibn Abbas, he saw the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, Ya Rasulullah, ma asra shabak, like myself, he had turned white very quickly. The Holy Prophet, his beard, his hair. He said, Ma asra shabak ya Rasulullah, you have become old very quickly. He said, Shayyabatni suratul Hud. Surah Hud has made me old. He said, what's in it? He said, this one ayat. Allah expects me to maintain my standards all throughout, not decline ever, become better. Khatamun Nabiyeen, Sayyidul Mursaleen, the highest level of prophethood. He says, this ayat makes me old. So I once asked one of my teachers, a great mujtahid, and I said, sometimes you start something with a lot of sincere intentions, in my younger days. And slowly, after 1 or 2 years, you feel that you're not on the same level of spirituality when you started. Yes? So over the years, you have to maintain and learn. So I learned. And many times, I said that you bring in people into your organization, in your Imam Bargah, your religious work. They start with, great good intention, and slowly they deteriorate. Their intentions become not so pure. Yes, it happens in many mambargas. People are very pure when they start, and in a few years' time, they have finished their spirituality. Everyone following me so far, sisters and brothers? Why does that happen? Is that because to maintain is very difficult. You have to continuously remind yourself, when, for example, why do you make the niyat in namaz? I'm doing, let's say 2 rakat namaz fajr qurbatan ila Allah. Why? Does Allah need to know? You're reminding yourself you're doing it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Did you all get that? What is important is that you continuously remind yourself, why are you serving the center? Yes, it has to be purely for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it's a place of worship and we are serving people. Anyone who puts themselves forward for leadership should remember they put themselves forward for the leadership of a center or imam bargah. Center meaning religious center. Yes, everyone? So religious centers requires a special mindset. They say no matter what the course is, so long as the teacher is good, the course will be good. Did you all follow? So the leadership basically defines the center, the leadership defines the people. And the people, when they look at a person who is the leader of an Imam Barga, they say, what sort of Imam Barga is this? The guy is not in the right frame of mind. Yes. So unfortunately, we have elections, but if you choose the right people to lead the Imam Barga, it is very important. It is the key. I hope people understand that. So what are the qualities? In the next slide, I'll try and, I'm trying to compete with the time. There's an ayat from the Holy Quran, الَّذِينَ يُبَلِّغُونَ رَسَالَاتِ اللَّهِ وَيَخْشَوْنَهُ وَلَا يَخْشَوْنَ أَحَدًا إِلَّا اللَّهِ وَكَفَى بِاللَّهِ حَسِيبًا. The ones who are delivering the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and they fear Him. Yes, they fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَلَا يَخْشَوْنَ, and they don't fear anyone else. وَلَا يَخْشَوْنَ أَحَدًا, they don't fear anyone except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَكَفَى بِاللَّهِ حَسِيبًا, and Allah is sufficient for them. So what is important is that without fear, you have to lead the Hussainiyas. Yes, everyone? The Imam Barga has to be led with no compromises. You compromise on one place, you'll have to compromise on 10 other places. So it has to be led with with complete courage. Serving an Imam Barga, look at the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He is himself. He ran the the masjid himself. He did everything there in the masjid. Imam Ali alayhi salam, then we have Imam Sadiq alayhi salam who ran the whole of the institute. Yes. Number one, please don't take this as, don't be offended by any of these words. Okay. I'm not targeting people. I know you're all leaders of the community. As an older brother, as a brother, you will inshallah accept my words without any offense. Number one, وَخْفِضْ جَنَاحَكَ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ. The Holy Quran says, lower your shoulders for the mu'mineen. Yes? To whom? The Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The greatest man has to show humility or modesty to the community. So arrogance is not. So what happens is that, sometimes as the leaders of the centers, we, become, in many centers we see, unfortunately, across Britain as well. I'm not talking about the subcontinent, India, Pakistan, Iraq, Iran, where most of the Shia centers are, even in Britain. So becoming the leader of the center does not, for example, give you the legality to be arrogant or to be, so it is a service. The center belongs to mu'mineen. And the mu'mineen are, the dignity of a mu'min is more than Kaaba. Ihtaramul mu'mini, the hadith of the Masum alayhi salam, that it is like lashing the Kaaba when you disrespect a believer. Okay, so just be, be modest. The first thing, the center belongs to who? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Imam alayhi salam. So once it is waqf, everyone, if it is a private place, then it is a private place. Anything which is waqf belongs to the Imam. And we're only and only controlling these centers in the absence of the Imam or in the occultation of the Imam alayhi salam. As soon as he reappears, it belongs to him. He will decide then who is the leader. So we're only serving in the occultation of the Imam alayhi salam. So the attitude should be that we are modest and we are welcoming. So the center belongs to the Imam. When you're serving the Imam alayhi salam, then what is it? It's an ibadat. Yes, everyone? It is an ibadat. Ibadat requires intention qurbatan ilallah. Now, many centers, now people are discussing that we should pay them, the leaders, or, why? Because so then they work with better intention and, have a better attitude towards. And many charities have now appointed, British started everything. So is it permissible or not? Can I have show of hands? How many people think it is permissible to pay the people who are working on charities? It is permissible. You two people think that it is permissible. How many people think it's not permissible? Quite a lot of you think it is not permissible. Anyone undecided? Depends on the constitution. Okay, so that's the legal process. We're talking about the Islamic side. Okay, everyone, pay attention now. I'll quickly present an ayat to you all. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells you 8 categories of zakat, charity. So all the money you collect is charity money. Sadaqah, khairat, zakat, khums, all of these are charity money. Everyone paying attention? These are all charity money. So they don't belong to you. Once a person says this is charity, doesn't belong to him, doesn't belong to you. You're only a person responsible. So who do you pay? Lil fuqara wal masakin, like the Holy Quran mentions the categories. The deserving people, the poor people, the people who are very destitute, travelers and this and that. Wal amilina alayh. One of the categories is the people who work for the charity can be reimbursed, can be paid. So 2 people said that you can. Yes. Legally, probably you're talking about, I'm not sure, but it is Islamically also permissible to pay. Yes, everyone? It is permissible to pay for charity work from homes. The Maraji also do that. Where do they pay from? From homes. They're paying all the people working in the offices and all the people working full time from homes and from zakat, all the collections. So the person responsible for Imam Bakr Center, he said, I should get a salary then. Mashallah, he has contributed generously, to the establishment of the center. May Allah protect him. No, but we, obviously we have to be relaxed. Am I making you a bit uncomfortable or is it okay? Okay. So the first thing, sometimes many people are arguing that people, because they think I'm giving time, so then I have the right to at least show an attitude. Yes, beta. Okay, everyone, very good question. So he's asking that, do they get, because they've got paid, do they get a reward? So unfortunately, some of the British charities, the CEOs get a handsome salary, 180,000, 200,000, like the big Oxfam, like they give out a big ad and everything in the newspapers. Who is capable? Because the charity makes 100 million, 200 million, 400 million. Can you pay to run? Of course you can. But if their niyat was still qurbatan illah, I'm only charging for my time, then they still get sawab in the hereafter as well. Okay? I'm saying it on record. That is only and only if it helps the charity. I'm not saying that the people, Imam Barkas are running on, very short budgets and some low funds, and unfortunately, there are many problems. But big charities all over UK, even the Shia charities, there are over 1,000 charities. Do you think their main workers and some of their people working full time not get paid? What do you think? They do get paid, I'm telling you. Okay, on record. They do get paid. Not all, not in Majlis Ulama, we don't get paid. So we, and we are not such a big charity, unfortunately. So we are, struggling with funds. We have, like loans and everything. But some charities are collecting 10, 20 million. The World Federation claimed, the president just now, I heard his speech 2 months ago. He claimed last month in his speech that we spent 17 million pounds in 2025 alone. Did you all follow that? That's a big charity. Does the president or some of the workers, people who are working in that organization, not deserve to be paid if they're working full time? It's a big charity, they can. Okay? So I'm saying that it is allowed, it is permissible. There's a whole debate. I've probably gone too much into this. I didn't want to go too much into this. Next slide, please. I'll just read it off from here. What is leadership? It is service to the community. Sayyidul Qawmi Khadimuhum. Yes, everyone? Sayyidul Qawm, the master of the community is Khadimuhum, the one who serves them. So there are two models, main two models. The American model, as they call it. Everyone watching me? Like a mountain, yes? So the leader is at the top, yes? And that's how the model is. And everyone else is, like a few people here, a few more, and the general public is here. So he gives the most pressure, and the ones at the bottom take the most pressure, take the most abuse. Did you all get that? That's the American model, as they call it. And then you have the Japanese model. Yes? Where is the leader? At the bottom. Leader is the one who takes the most pressure. Did you all follow? So the models are different. Leadership, in olden days, they studied management, and now they're studying management and leadership. What is the difference between management and leadership? Can anyone give me, can anyone give? Yes. Very good. Okay. Everyone, did you all hear that? Okay. So manager, the system is already there. He executes, he runs the system. Leader is, if there is no system, he creates a system as well. Leadership is now being taught in America, in American system and for American embassies. Yes, everyone? Before they would teach management, now they're teaching leadership. Management and leadership are not equal. They're not same difference. Management and leadership are not same. Okay? There are many people who are good managers but not good leaders. As a younger Maulana 20 years ago, I used to believe, then I was proven wrong. You sometimes have your own theories or you hear your teachers and you think it is right. And a lot of the teachers in Qom and Najaf have never been outside. They've been only there. So they have no practical life experience. Not all, but majority. Yes? So they give you a lot of theories. You start believing them because big Ayatollah, big name. And then you come into practical life, you realize this theory was wrong. Everyone following me so far? I've seen that. Okay, I used to believe that if you can run an organization of 5 people or 10 or 50 people, then you also have the capability of running 5,000 people's organization. Then later on, I realized that it is impossible. Not impossible. Some people can, some people are capable, but majority are not. Why, everyone? Can anyone? I just want you to get involved. That's all. I'm just trying to. Yes? Why? Anyone? Yes. Economies and scale. What else? Lack of systems. Skills. Most importantly for the leader is the skills. The skills used for, let's say, an organization of 50 people are not the same as an organization of 5,000 people. How? Can anyone? You would directly communicate with the 50 people easily, but can you communicate directly and have a personal touch with 5,000 people? It is not possible. So how do you do that? Then you will have managers, supervisors, then you don't deal with the lower end people directly. So unfortunately, the biggest problem that arises in big organization is, everyone listening? For the leaders, Maraji and everything, they get cut off from the grassroots level. Yes, they become distant. So you're running organizations of 200-300 people, it is easier to still have personal touch with families. But once the Imam Barga becomes 5,000, then do you think it is possible that Imam Barga, big Imam Bargas, the leader will not have a direct touch with the people? Did you all follow? Skill set is different. Then you will need to have a larger team. That team needs to directly then communicate with the people. Do you all get that? So I'm giving you business models because leadership works similar, yes, in business and in Imam Bargas. The difference is they are selling a product. You're convincing the people to follow religion. Did you all follow? It is very important. So marketing is very similar. I'm not sure people are, connected with me. Yes, okay. But everyone, if you can, all respected brothers and sisters, In marketing, the ads, they don't ever say, use this phone. Did you all get that? Use this television. Use this brand. This mic is, this fan is. That's not what they do. What do? They get a celebrity. Yes. I use, I'm not going to say what. Yes? Then everyone who likes that celebrity says, that's the phone I'm getting. Did you all follow? That's marketing. So you get a good person and says, I pray namaz. I attend this Imam Barga. Okay, I'll attend Majalis as well. Yes? You like someone and, like, for example, I keep saying, listen to the sermon of Fatima Zahra. And then Ronaldo comes and says, miracles only happen in Fatima. And everyone says, hang on, who is he talking about? Oh, there's a city called Fatima. Oh, there was a lady that appeared to cure some children. Oh, who was she? They believe it was the mother of Jesus, Mary, but they asked her, the girls asked her, are you Mary? She was wearing a full hijab. So they have a statue of Lady Fatima wearing a black chadar. And so the girls asked her, our little girl is sick. Why are you here? To cure her. Are you Maryam? Are you Mary in Portugal? She said, no, I'm Fatima. So they said, well, name of Maryam may be Fatima in some other language, but it's still called the city Fatima, not like Muslims. I'm not sure people are here, but that was a joke. We do sometimes khiyanat and change, or we don't want Ahlul Bayt to be known. They still kept the city's name Fatima, named it after that lady who came and cured those girls. Did everyone follow? So leadership has to try and bring in, so things that people say, I want to follow this, I want to do this. Yes, that's leadership. When people want to. So what is the first role of leadership? Leadership is not for the people to feel better than others. So the leader starts feeling, I'm better than others, I'm the leader. Everyone following? For leader of namaz, can he be on a higher place? Imam? No, why not? Hadith of Imam Sadiq in Ilal Shara Shaykh Saduq. He says that the Imam of namaz, because it's not always Masoom leading, yes? We only have 14 Masoomin, 12 Imams, and the Holy Prophet and Fatima Raza. She's not going to lead, yes? So what do? They lead, they stand in the front, have their back towards the people. So they should not be in a higher position, so they start feeling better than others. I'm better than others. Yes? That's the hadith of Masoom alayhi salam. So never ever feel I'm better than others. Arrogance should not be there. What is the first? So for example, I'm tall, so when I meet, I have to quickly bow down. That makes me feel I have to bow down. Did you all get that? For example, if a person is not so, they have to put up. Yes? What will that do? If I don't ever bow down, it can bring some sort of mindset to me. For example, like a king will not sit like some of you are sitting. How will he sit? Chest up, back straight. They keep telling them, yes. Why? Because you're the king. You have to show an attitude. Is that what we do in Imam Barga? Exactly the opposite. You have to put your shoulders down. Assalamu alaikum, welcome everyone. Put your head down. Welcome. Don't give attitude to people. The most important thing is, Kana Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam da'iman yatabassam. Maula Ali said Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was always smiling. Never ever anyone saw the Holy Prophet laugh. Yes, but everyone, even with his enemies, he was smiling. Amir Romanin, the biggest criticism of his enemies, he said, Ya Ali, you have everything, but one thing I don't like about you. I don't want to say the name of the person. Yes? He said, Ya Ali, you are perfect. One thing I hate about you. He said, what? He said, you're always smiling. Everyone is running away in the battlefield and you're still smiling. You can understand who must have said it. Yes? One of the probably runners away. Yes? Smile is the biggest key for leadership. Yes, everyone? Secondly, it doesn't mean that you become a joker. Yes? Firmness. You mean it. No, we don't do this, or we don't, so firmness is very important. So they take pressure. Can I have the next slide, please? They take pressure. They serve the people. For example, sometimes, I've seen some of the teachers, they're picking up the shoes and placing them, like little things that can change the people's mindset and feel that. Now, in Imam Bargahs, the centers, everyone should remember that Tashayyu is a righteous, and the righteousness has its own qualities and it has its own demands. Yes? So the demand of Tashayyu is past. So has it changed you? If it hasn't changed you, how is it going to change others? Who are you? I'm the leader. If you got all the problems, the leaders of the embargo, they are not going to be able to change the community. You're serving the community so that they can do majalis, they can do ibadat, they can do namaz, learn, pray, and do tazkiyah, become better. So the most important role is of the Imam Barga leaders. They have to show that they have changed. For example, the people shouldn't feel that he never prays, he never attends, he's never there. I'm the leader. Why should I? I'm not sure people are here. Can I say something? Unfortunately, what happens in politics is that a lot of the politicians, they start feeling I'm exempted. Yes? Yes or no? No, you don't have to agree with me. I'm not imposing it upon you. Generally, what happens is that they exempt themselves. Anyone from Pakistan here? Majority. Okay. So you heard, I'm not going to say name the prime minister, but one of the Pakistani prime ministers, he said, can you give me istisna? Can you give me an exemption? What does that mean? Don't say the name, please. Put me in trouble. I'm going next month. Yes, everyone? What did that mean when he was saying, give me an exemption? So what basically he's saying is that he's not saying I haven't broken the law. He's not saying there isn't a law and I haven't broken it. He's saying the law is there, I have broken it, but can you give me an exemption? Can I not go to court? At least I'm the prime minister. You see, please everyone pay attention. What happens is, Amir al-Mu'minin Nahj Balagha, he says, "O people of Kufa, many of you are worse than Muawiyah. But you never got a chance to prove it." He got the chance, he says, "I'll kill Ali." He started swearing at me, he said, "Ali is Bainam, Ali doesn't pray, Ali is kafir. I'm going to kill him, I'm going to rip his tummy." This is what he said. Yes? He said, many of you never got a chance. So the evil is hidden. Many of us are holding it back because why? We're not getting an opportunity to prove it, how evil we are. Many people Allah saves because they never get the opportunity to prove how evil they are, which is good as itself. So when you come into power, power corrupts. A chair, you sit down and you think, I'm the leader. That's enough to make you Fir'aun. One of my teachers, Rahmatullah Alayhi, Ali Panashtihari, died in Qom. He was a very big teacher of akhlaq. He said, I was going to Mashhad and I was, service stations in Iran now have improved, but back 30, I'm talking about 30 years back. Yes, I'm that old. So 30 years back, and he said, I was traveling from Qom to Mashhad, 17, 18 hours of bus drive. I stopped at a service station, the bus stop. So you have a masjid, you have a restaurant, you have different shops, and you have, like bathrooms and toilets. He said, usually, the village where the bus stops, one of the villagers sits outside, with a small box in front of him for tip. And the government gives him small wages, just maintain the toilets. You're sitting outside the toilets, and he said, everyone line up because there are not many toilets. They're outside toilets, and his evil has, his Fir'aun has come out. Did you all follow? You can get a chair anywhere and you can start feeling, I am the boss of the toilet. Wallahi, it can happen to anyone. The most important point is that, maintain yourself. So it happens, and we see it happening all throughout the world. I travel across more than 50, 60 countries, and I've seen it everywhere. Not that it is happening in every place, meaning there are people who will give you that attitude. So choosing the right leadership is extremely important. Did everyone follow? I hope I'm not offending people. So what happens is, at Imam Barga, don't you know these are muttaqi people and I'm the head of muttaqeen? Head of Muttaqeen is Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. You're only a servant of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Did you all follow? So Mawla Muttaqiyan is Mawla Ali alayhi salam. And I go on to the next. Am I still okay to go? Yes. Next slide. Yeah, okay. No, that's it.
Talk about the arrogance, leadership, unfortunately, it's quite natural. Is it to do with also like the titles that we traditionally have?
Very good. Very good. So the titles you get, so in Majlis Ulama, I intentionally introduced the central coordinator. Did you all follow? So we give little titles. When you say the president, he starts feeling, like someone wrote to me, I'm really not pleased that as a president of Majlis Ulama, you still haven't got me a house. I said, I'm a president of Majlis Ulama, not the country. How can I write to the Prime Minister and get you a house or something, No, I was asking one in Qom, so you could have written to the Iranian president or the. I said, it's a title is big, position is small. Yes, everyone? But sometimes those titles get to you. The director general, or you start feeling, okay, Allah Rasul, and probably I'm third in position or fourth in line. Yes. Unfortunately, it happens. Look at all the khulafa, what happened to them? The people praying behind and everything, suddenly I've got the member, I've got the power, I've got the position. Yeah, Ali, I'm better than you. Do you think they were always like that? Many people were, but many people were not like that. As soon as they got the power, they started insulting Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam. Yes, it gets to your head. I hope I'm not hurting people. Now, what is the key by Amir al-Mu'minin? In Nahj al-Balagha, it says, Latur Riyasa Sa'atu Sadr. The tool and the key for presidency or leadership is broad chest. What does that mean? Patience, tolerance. Sa'atu Sadr, The Holy Prophet had a lot of Sa'atu Sadr. Alam nashrah laka sadrak. Have we not broadened your chest? Meaning he tolerated everyone. Smiled, even his enemies. So the key is tolerance. The key is the friends who have known me for 20, 30 years, not less. They say that you changed after 2011. I said, yes. 2011 was my presidency of Majlis Ulama. So if before 2011 someone swore at me, I would swear back. Someone looked at me, said at me, I would say, how dare you look at me like that? Yes? But after 2011, I had to change. You swear at me, it doesn't matter. It is not easy. That's why I say Majlis Ulama turned. Yes, everyone? There was a great teacher from central Punjab. And they said, you became a Murshid. Why didn't you go towards Marja'iyah? He said, it doesn't suit me. So his student, he directly told me. So he said, I asked him, I said, why doesn't it suit you? He said, look, I'm a Baloch. If a person swears at me, until I give 10 swears back, I can't sleep at night. I have to take it out of my system. I have to, I want to punch the guy in the face. He said, that's my bringing up. I'm a Baloch, I'm a leader from my tribal, I'm from a tribe. We, break the nose of the guy if someone swears. He said, Marja'iyah doesn't suit me. You need the patience and I don't have it. All his life he taught. All of his life. He didn't go towards leadership. He said, I can't. Did you all follow? So the right frame of mind is necessary. The time is short. So next, please. Can I quickly finish my slide? This is a statement that I want everyone to understand. Leadership is not by demand, it is by command. Did you all understand? Anyone? Did you all understand that? I mentioned this in Cambridge University and they said, explain yourself. The leadership, I went for a course, a leadership course. And they were saying, can you, the Jews, the Christians, all the Christian rabbi who was Prince William's mentor. So there are all of these top leaders from Oxford, Cambridge, Durham, Harvard, Princeton, and so there were 40, 50 people. It was a very closed leadership training program, the first one. So I went to the first one. One of the brothers, Mu'mineen, recommended me, and I went, and I learned a lot from it. And alhamdulillah, I built a lot of respect in the eyes of the Jews, Christians, and Hindus, and everyone. So they said, everyone, can anyone mention a model or a statement? And I said this. And they said, we don't understand. What do you mean? The time is finished. Shall I just leave it or shall I explain it? What do you understand from this statement? Anyone? Amir Thaqlain, sister. You are delivering the command. It is that you have the quality that people look at. Did you all follow? Leadership is not by demand. I'm the leader. Why don't you follow me? You know, like for example, Hisham ibn Abdul Malik, he came for Hajj. He said, tell the people I'm Khalifa. Why are they not giving the path? I want to do tawaf. And then people kept pushing him, and you know, we don't like you. He had all of these guards. After third round, he said, stop, I can't do it. Came and sat down and said, bring me Zamzam. Bring me water, bring me this, bring me that. And suddenly Imam Sajjad alayhi salam came. While doing tawaf, the Imam alayhi salam was moving in the whole of the crowd. Yabna Rasulullah, please, you. He said, who is this? I'm the Khalifa. Who is this? He said, هذا الذي يعرفه بطاب الحرم. Well, you know, the Haram knows him, Makkah knows him, Zamzam knows him, Hajar Aswad knows him, the world knows him. He is Hujjat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is the son of the Holy Prophet. He is Imam. Why? He was commanding. How? The Imam is contained. You command leadership by your actions, not by words. Yes? So leadership is by command. You command leadership by actions. You do things, people say, oh, he's a leader. Yes? You're stuck in a place. I'm giving you an example, and the same thing you can apply to Imam Barga. You're in a jungle, and everyone said, where do we go? Every old trees, he said, follow me, I'll tell you. And if they take you out of that difficult path, then you know he's a leader. Yes, everyone? In Imam Bargas, the people who take you out of the crises or the troubles you're in, that's the leader. Do you command by your actions? Yes. Leadership sets the destination. Yes. And the management team delivers it. Yes. Excellent. So leadership is basically the one with the vision. Everyone, very quickly, 2 minutes for namaz, and I want to end. So first is knowledge. 4 things I'm going to quickly count. I'm not going to complete my slides now. So number 1, everyone, knowledge, ilm. Many people don't have knowledge. Many people do. Second is amal, practice. Many people know, but they don't follow their own, practice what you preach. Yes, everyone? They don't practice. So first is knowledge. Second is action, practice. Third, hikmah, wisdom. A lot of the people have knowledge and they have practice, but they don't have wisdom. Who does that apply to? A lot of the ulama. Yes? They don't have the wisdom. Wisdom is very important. Wisdom is وَمَنْ أُوتِيَ الْحِكْمَةَ فَقَدْ أُوتِيَ خَيْرًا كَثِيرًا. Whoever has been given wisdom has been given a lot of khair. Allah says in Quran. Yes? Hikmat. وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا لُقْمَانَ الْحِكْمَةَ. We give Luqman wisdom. Wisdom is very important. Everyone following me? So wisdom is what? How to say things. Everyone listening? So you come on the channel and you say, today so-and-so has been elected as the president. You don't say, today the president's mother died. Did you all follow? That's wisdom. You don't give a bad news with a smile. Wisdom is to say things properly, the literature, the language, everything counts. How you deliver things, how you say things. You want to give a bad news, as soon as, I was in the hospital when I was admitted a long time ago, 20 years back. I'm afraid I have a bad news. Like the doctors will come and say, oh, they've done a scan, someone's got cancer in the same ward. They want to give them. I'm afraid I've got bad news. They've already prepared them. They start putting up the curtains and everything. You've got 6 months, and so they start crying and calling the family. Yes, all of that has to be done with wisdom. Imam Barga, for example, you're coming for asking donations. Do it in a wise manner. Yes, everyone. Leadership is all about wisdom. I'm not even sure if I should cover the 4th component, but The third one is wisdom. Wisdom is extremely important. It's namaz time. Fourth, I will probably just mention and not probably explain. Yes? The fourth one is basira, vision. Wisdom and vision are not the same. Many people think they're all the same. People always talk about vision, but they forget the first three components: knowledge, practice, wisdom, and then vision. If you have all of those, that's when your vision counts. The leader who foresees things. This is what's going to happen. Don't do this. The results. What do you think has happened to Keir Starmer? What do you think has happened? No, I'm serious. Sisters are laughing. He's made such a mockery of himself. Everyone is laughing at him. What happened? He didn't have bloody vision. The sister, like, what did he keep saying? Oh, if the donors and the people who are paying for the election campaign, all I need to do is just please them. Who are they? The Zionists or whatever. I don't know. I don't care. Yes? Did you all follow? So he kept pleasing the 2% and he forgot the 98%. And the biggest party in the in British council elections in the UK. Yes? Do you see the point? So it is very important that the leadership sees, and builds onto that. To win hearts is very difficult. Yes, everyone? Yes. Last question we will take.
Take this point forward and help us as centers select our management leaders, not our religious leaders, because I feel
Okay.
as a center we separate, in our center we separate our religious leader, whom we admire and follow for all religious matters. If we have a center leadership, we split that between the gents, the ladies, the youth, the madrasa, and choosing those leaders exactly on your 4 points is vital to the success and of the center. Maybe I might be wrong.
Very beautiful point put by my sister. Can I just quickly mention, number one, Majlis Ulama has no role in the selection of the leadership or management. So, no, I'm going to explain it. Yes. So this is the platform that we can only use to guide. Number two, people are not chosen. They put themselves forward. And sometimes the people who are very sincere and have all of those qualities, they just shy away and say, I'm not going to come forward. So when you say, no, please come, no. And then when sometimes they see the competition, if I'm going to be fighting an election again, then they just leave. And then third point, dignity and respect is the key. And if I feel that I'm not going to be respected, then I will just walk away. I will only and only walk into a room where I feel that I can be, people will hear me, respect me, give me the honor of listening to me. Otherwise, I will just not play a role. So a lot of the people in the community who can deliver better, and unfortunately, they're delivering in other places, in political arenas, in other big organizations, huge organizations. They have a major role, but they have no role in developing the Shia community, which is a sad thing. Last point, and then we'll have to end. Yes. Go on, brother, quickly. Very good. So, okay, everyone. So if there are 10 people in the room, in Majlis Ulama, how I have in the last 16 years, I've said that I will take, because it's all ulama, the view of the majority. So many times it is against my view, but I have to still respect it. But that's my policy. The previous president did not do that. He said, no, I have the right to veto, and I'm the leader, so I'm going to decide. So everyone can have a different method. So, but as in communities, I would say that the final say should be of the president, and he should decide that, okay, this is what we've decided, but it shouldn't be a dictatorial role where he says that I don't care, it's either my way or high. No, it has to be something that he listens, but his say is final. Okay, everyone, please, it's namaz time. If we can all do wudu and then inshallah prepare for namaz. Allah Muhammad wa ala Muhammad salawat. Allahumma salli ala.